Tropical Depression 16 is now, as of the 8 a.m. advisory, Tropical Storm Nate. So that puts us pretty far into these columns. So you figure you have 14 named storms. Here are the last named storms. We'll see how far we get this season. But definitely we had a bit of a lull after Maria, which we were all very appreciative of. Now we have Tropical Storm Nate, a minimal tropical storm. It is kind of big as far as its circulation, pardon me. And its circulation, the center, is a bit overland. So even though it didn't intensify, despite the fact that it's a bit overland, the further in it moves, it's not going to be able to intensify as it moves inland. So what we're curious about is how much will the circulation be disrupted when it moves over land? What's it going to look like when it moves from here to back in the warm waters? There's definitely not going to be a lot of shear. Here you can see an upper level trough, all this dry air, which has brought us some wonderful, wonderful mornings the past few days. This is going to shift west. So here you have the storm moving northwest, low shear, warm waters. But depending on how much this land interaction affects its circulation, if it disrupts it enough, it might have some more work to do. We'll see if it intensifies more rapidly. Not sure yet. And then it may very well make landfall again in the Yucatan Peninsula. That's not a definite yet. We'll show you the coordinates right here. 40-mile-per-hour winds moving to the northwest at 8. It's expected to become a tropical depression again while it's on land. And then the expectation is it becomes a tropical storm once it reemerges into warm waters. It may or may not make landfall in the Yucatan. This would also disrupt circulation. And then by Sunday early morning, be close to making landfall on the Gulf Coast. And if you were tuned in yesterday night, you might be thinking, Marco, why did they move so far west? Now, the reason it did is because the Euro model, which pretty reliable, it's actually matching up to the American GFS model now. The American model was taking it far west. Well, here's the Euro model. Here's the center of the storm, and this orange represents a big high pressure system. And the high pressure system is a lot stronger in this recent run of the model than it was yesterday. So that would prevent the storm from moving too far east. So if it were to go here, we might get some bands of rain, but we wouldn't even get tropical storm force winds should it take this westerly track. Further east it moves, well, it'd have to get pretty close because the wind radii, the amount the tropical storm force winds extend, is not that far. So promising news. Let's give it an extra day before we celebrate too much. Certainly, though, promising news so far.